Because y'all keep talking about these women that don't do nothing. Because, like, if my car break down, you know what I'm saying?
That's not the
But,
same
you
thing,
know,
Bo.
what?
You're doing like, listen.
What
I
I'm
would say,
saying is, in a relationship, things that need to happen just need to happen. It doesn't matter who does it.
But I don't date broke women. Like, if anything goes on with me, she felt offended. Like, what can I do? Let me activate my powers. They all understood. In my life, you either are beneficial or you're useless. And I think that's the problem with a lot of men, is that they really don't date women that are useful.
Feminists fight for equal treatment, not equitable treatment, which is what's fair.
Okay, I got you.
They want equal. They want a woman to get the same outcome as men, regardless of what they have to do to get that outcome. They want men to have their outcomes limited based on what women can do, because if a woman can't lift 100 pounds, a man shouldn't get extra for being able to do it. Feminists, they want, again, everything is at the expense of men. Women that you're talking about, you guys should be looking for equitable treatment, not equal treatment. Because again, for example, here's a great example of equal and all. If I pull my chair out, if we're all out to eat, right, and just say that you're my woman, and so I pull everybody's chair out, that's equality for all women. If I only pull your chair out based on who you are to me, what you've done, what you do for me, the role you fill for me in my life, and who we are together and what our goals are as a couple, that's equitable. And if I'm doing it for everybody, they don't deserve that. They should have men or their fathers, or the waiter should have did it. But I do it for you because I make sure that you have a equitable treatment in the way that I treat women. I treat all other women the same. So, which is, y'all pick up your own shit. But for you, based on who you are and the work you've done in that scenario, I pull your chair out because I'm supposed to as your man.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think in fairness, go ahead, George.
Yeah, I was just going to say, a lot of these issues that we're talking about, I think we could simply avoid them by having discussions prior to being into a deep relationship. If you're already in one, I get it. But if you are to the point where you want to take a person seriously, I think this is absolutely part of the discussion that needs to be had, where you're speaking about finances, what people are comfortable paying, how you would distribute housework. What is it? Are you comfortable with gender roles? These are all extremely important, but we don't have these conversations. A lot of times we get caught up in the love, the lust, and not understanding the business aspect of it and what's actually going to make that person want to be with you for the rest of your life. We don't really pay attention to that. And that's not going to really get us anywhere. If we're looking at it and saying, we're going over so many different things as far as the relationship is concerned, we'll take hours and hours and hours and hours to plan a wedding, but we won't take any time to put these scenarios together to see what kind of a man you are, what kind of a woman you are. Then, yeah, that's going to be problematic. And it gets tough when you start trying to go tit for tat, because there's going to be times in a relationship, for particularly the average people, where you might need to lean on that person for some point, right? So if you have to lean on that person, you need to understand that they're going to be available for you, and it'll be vice versa sometimes. But again, what you say?
No, but so Trev, I think it need to be even more than a conversation. I think people need to have agreements. I think they need to write them
contractual
down.
And I was going to say,
it don't even got to be a contract, because it's probably not going to be legally enforceable. But y'all need to write it down so that you can refer to, like, no, don't tell me I didn't say this. No, I said that. This is your signature, right? Like, I think people need to write it down so that they can actually read it and go reference it.
I do think that there does need to be an expanded conversation, and then maybe even being written down. What you are, in my opinion, seeing is that men are actually starting to ask more questions. Because again, like I said earlier in the broadcast, a lot of the women socially, off the bat, I don't care almost who you speak to, they know what we're supposed to do in a relationship. They know what we're supposed to do. They fail to understand what they have to do. And that's why I asked earlier, are you a good teammate? And most of the women attempted to answer, and some of them did. But if you ask the average woman, are you a good teammate in a relationship? She's gonna look at you crazy. Like, what you mean teammate? Like, what? Like, because that's not how their minds is conditioned, generally speaking, talking in general. Not talking about the unicorns like Bo. I'm saying in general, this is the case, and that's what's happening. Is the fact that like you said, Trev, there needs to be extensive conversation. You may need to lean on somebody. Nobody's asking, okay, like in a perfect scenario, when we're rocking and everything is working, what if my car engine explodes and then I got to get to work? Are you going to take me? Or are you expecting me to Uber? Because automatically, if her car engine explodes, without her telling you, she's expecting you to fix it. That's just off the bat, right? Because you're the man. You know what I'm saying? So that's typically is the issue. And what we're finding is that, well, yeah, we need to figure out equality and equitable and then define them on an individual level in relationships. And I'll add.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't even understand that as being a compatibility issue, but it is, right? We're definitely worried about sexual chemistry. We're definitely worried about, oh, how do you eat? We're worried about where do you align politically? You'd be surprised how many people will not talk to you because you might be a right or a left or whatever. But we're not concerned about being compatible with something that we're going to have to do on a regular basis. I think it's crazy.
So I'm just okay. Maybe I am a unicorn. One, never had a dude that truly liked me. I had figured that out. I'm like, these niggas don't be liking me. So anyway, but also, y'all ain't never had a woman get your car fixed. Y'all ain't never had a woman like do not like no, not like that. Okay, Willie, you fix your face because there's no way that you would ever let a woman do that.
I've just never seen that shit happen in life.
But hold on. I have done that. Now here's the thing.
Did you get some, like what was the exchange? Like what did you get from that?
Thank you.
Like did y'all go like tampon shopping together? Because that's some bitch ass shit. Like what are we talking about?
No. Okay, Willie, everyone does not have your bank account.
It's not about a bank. Oh, wait. See, this is what you can't do, Bo. It's not about a bank account. It's about how I was raised.
I understand that. Here's the thing.
Okay. It's different.
Here's the thing. That was my husband, okay? He needed to get his car at the shop. I paid for it. It needed to happen, so I paid for it. I'm just trying to figure out, like, if that needs to happen. Because y'all keep talking about these women that don't do nothing. Because, like, if my car breaks down, you know what I'm saying?
That's not the same
you
thing,
know,
Bo.
what?
You're doing like, listen.
What I'm saying is, in a relationship, things that need to happen just need to happen. It doesn't matter who does it. Ideally, would I have liked for him to do it himself? Absolutely. Would I have liked to keep my money in my bank account? Damn right. But that's my husband that needed to happen. And so I got him his transportation because the alternative was my car. And my car can't be ripping and running. We got two different schedules. You see what I'm saying? So
that was your husband, Bo. So listen.
Yeah, it's a little different.
I'm not doing that for a random dude. I'm just saying.
And two,
what I'm saying is
you paid for it.
What I'm saying is, my point for that is men also deserve for their needs to be met because they can't just figure it out. Like I could have just been like, figure it out, whatever.
And he would have.
But what it seemed like it, okay, so but then you said that you kind of like got the situation, handled. But would he work extra hard and he put the money in the bank account? So it's an emergency fund. So in the case that happened, then you wouldn't use your money again. Did he make it up some way, somehow?
But see, the way you're asking it, Michelle, which is a fair question. I'm sorry, go ahead, Bo.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, like, I agree with you, Bo. And again, Willie, you my boy. But I think that's the problem from the standpoint of we're setting the standard of most people are not walking around married, most people are dating. But then we need to now define what it looks like at the level of dating and then marriage. Because I agree that your wife, like bills being paid, for example, you're not paying for your girlfriend's bill. They her bill. but your wife is different. Both said, okay, my husband. So that requires a certain level of activation of resources, effort, and so on. But most people are dating. Most people are in some relationship that is void of marriage, right? So now we need to explore what that looks like at that level. And I don't think that that's a sex thing. I think that that's a capacity thing, because I'll be the first to say, maybe I'm spoiled. I've had tons of girls, not necessarily taking care of my car, but I don't date broke women. Like, if anything goes on with me, she felt offended. Like, what can I do? Let me activate my powers. They all understood. In my life, you either are beneficial or you're useless. And I think that's the problem with a lot of men, is that they really don't date women that are useful. So she needs to be useful. You know what I'm saying?
But the way I look at it is like, if we are in a relationship and we are married and you are the head of the household, and I'm trusting you lead, and something needs to be handled, and at the moment I have the funds to do it, great, I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna take care of it. However, I'm already depleting a part of my income that you didn't have. So what you're gonna do as a leader to put us in a position that when this situation happen again, how about if I don't have it? Then who's going to solve the problem if you're the leader? So it needs to have some sort of like, leadership, that man is not going to continue to put us in a financial bind and expect me to bail him out, because that's not a leader.
So it's very different when you're married to when you're dating. I've been married and I've fucked up. Like, I've fucked up a bag, and my wife at the time had to cover where I was short briefly. And then, I was recouped and whatever. But that's just certain things, right? Like, when Bo asked the question, she was like, "You never had a woman get your car fixed?" Fuck no. Because I'm thinking, like, have I ever had her take, you know what I'm saying, and go get my tire changed or go get the supercharger or whatever? Like, anything done to my car has always been a man thing, right? And I keep my women in equitable positions in our relationships. So it's not something that my woman would do. However, if I'm married to someone and I'm short, obviously the default would be that my spouse would cover it, right? At a girlfriend level, I'm not expecting her to do that. If she offers to what True said, though, like, if she offers, that's awesome. That is a very, very, very solid woman, right? No issue with that. The thing is this simply. If you had told your husband to go figure it out and you didn't have the money, you couldn't, he would have went and figured it out. But you didn't tell him that because you thought that what you're supposed to do. Most men are going around here figuring shit out every day. There are people in the chat right now that are figuring out how they're gonna make rent in 4 days. Right now, as we speak, they coming up with a plan of how they do it, right? That doesn't mean that, they don't have somebody else they can go to. They couldn't go get a loan. They couldn't go, whatever. It's that they are just trying to figure it out themselves. When you're in a relationship, it's safe to be interdependent on your partner. So you don't have to figure it out yourself. You figure it out together.
You highlighted. I don't know about y'all, but when it comes to like money, I almost would never ask my woman for no fucking money. I would never ask her to get my car fixed, even if I didn't have no money. I'll figure it out. Now, it might be a situation where, like, if it's that bad, then yeah, I might ask her and I'll pay you back. I'll make sure you get, I'll get it back to you. But like, that's just one thing. I'd rather borrow your car before I ask you for money to get I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm maybe it's a toxic masculinity in me. But like,
to be fair, he didn't ask me. He didn't ask me. I came home from work and was like, "Let's go pick your car." I had already paid for it, so he didn't ask me. He had no idea I was going to do that.
See, and that nigga wouldn't get your tire changed. He hated you. That man hated you. Oh my God, that man hated your
gut. Or pamper you, or do something special.
Bo, who drove to get to the car dealership? Well, the mechanic who drove the car.
She probably drove him.
He was in the passenger seat?
I went home, like on my way from work. I went and paid for it. Went home and got him and took him to get his car.
So you went back. He was in the passenger seat. So that's crazy. I don't like none of that. I don't like nothing about that.